Mr. Toastmasters and fellow Toastmasters. Being a Toastmaster is not about just paying the annual dues every year. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes commitment. You would have joined, people join Toastmasters for a variety of reasons. Whatever the reason you joined Toastmasters for, we'll find out. What are some of the benefits? Why do people join Toastmasters in the first place? Number one, of course, the obvious one, public speaking, right? Number two, leadership development. And of course, the social aspect, the camaraderie that exists within the club. Whatever the reason you join Toastmasters, it could be either one of them or all of them, you have a better chance of succeeding or achieving it if you are aware and follow the principles called Toastmasters promise. What exactly is this promise? It's basically a code that exists that gives us a foolproof plan that if we follow or if we stick to it, you will definitely enhance your Toastmasters experience. This is not only a promise to your club, to your fellow members, or even to the organization. Most importantly, it's a promise to yourself. So what is this promise? I'm going to pass along this sheet to you. Let's take a look at what these promises are. Number one, to attend club meetings regularly. Toastmasters is not a correspondence program. You don't learn by reading. You learn at Toastmasters by being present and doing things. It is very true that we learn the most by interacting with others. And the more we interact with others, the more we learn. So when we attend our meetings regularly, the more we interact with people, we become more confident in our public speaking and also in our communication skills. Towards the end of the presentation, I want to speak a little bit about this particular point, which has helped me. And I'll tell you a story why this of all the points is very important. So that is our first promise, to attend club meetings regularly. To prepare, number two, to prepare all of my speeches to the best of my ability, basing them on the projects in the communication and leadership manuals. Every week, we did it today, we participated in the table topics. Basically, table topics is impromptu speaking. We wing it. There's no thought, and the whole purpose is learning to think on our feet. But a prepared speech is not like that. It takes careful planning and preparation. We have been provided manuals, different levels, and we follow those manuals to aid us in our speaking. I always get asked this question, or I've been asked this question, why do we need a manual? I mean, I can speak, I can write speeches. I would just like to give a speech. The answer is, Toastmasters is an educational program. The program is set in such a way that you follow each step systematically to reach your goal. It beats the purpose if you're skipping or doing it in your own way. It makes sense that the competition, in the CC manual, a speaker doesn't do vocal variety before learning how to organize a speech very well. So there is a reason everything is structured very well. To prepare and fulfill assignments, well, we have the speakers, but a meeting is not all about speaking. We have the people who run the meeting, the head tables, the special duty officers. Everybody in this club is important. You are important. When you are given a role, when you take the responsibility of a role, take it seriously. Don't let your club down, don't let yourself down. So whenever given an assignment, do it, and do it with all your best. Now, on a side note, I also want to say is, don't aim for perfection. Perfection that doesn't exist, that's my thought. Aim for doing it and doing it very best. If you have never done a role before, just do it. I commend our Toastmaster, Hamid, for taking the role today. That's the only way to learn. To provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations. I told you about speaking. Preparing a speech involves a lot of work. You think of an idea, come up with a speech topic, go to Google, read a book, get the topic, write the speech, prepare, practice, then you come and deliver the speech. Our evaluations doesn't mean demolishing the effort of the speaker. No speech is ever considered a whitewash. There's always something good to look in the speech. The role of a good evaluator is to provide, first of all, talk about things that the speaker did very well, and provide suggestions, provide positive feedback. to help them grow. This goes a long way. To help the club maintain a positive, friendly environment necessary to all members to learn and grow. Well, today's theme is about optimism, being positive, and this fits very well. I don't need to talk a lot about this because our club is already there. Our club is very positive. We have a friendly group of people. We always welcome guests. We always welcome each other, and we encourage others to participate. A couple of tidbits or some information I would recommend you to look into is consider, so we can enhance these experiences, try to come into the meetings at least 10 minutes early. That way you can get together, set up the meeting, and after the meeting, stay for a little bit while. Don't just run off and interact with people. Because it is easier to give a speech in front of a people you're comfortable with than a bunch of strangers. And we have to create that environment. The next promise is to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so. Club officers, especially new members, they have a question, who are club officers? Club officers are people who do the planning and the administrative work for not only a particular meeting, but for the entire year. There's a lot of work that goes into preparing preparing a successful Toastmasters year. For example, our VP of Education, Emily, sent out a roster and gave everybody the responsibility of roles for each week. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. When you're asked to become a club officer, some things for you to consider. When you become a club officer, the experience will be fun. It's definitely going to be rewarding, and you will learn a lot. You will learn a lot by working with people. And before I move on to the next promise, I just wanted to, I want to take a moment to, if I can ask the current club officers to just stand and be recognized. These are the club officers who have made every meeting successful. You may now be seated. As newer members, when asked upon to take on a role, please consider it. To treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy. We all remember as a guest when we first came, we were asked to read the table topics, how terrified we were. We all remember our first icebreaker. Everybody in this club has gone through that process and how terrifying it was. And what did the club do? They made us feel at home, made us feel comfortable, and encouraged us. When you have been treated the same way, it should be that you also treat others the same way. Always put yourself in the other person's shoes. What you have gone through, they have gone through as well. So it's always important to treat everybody with respect and courtesy. And more importantly, doesn't matter what a member's level is. It could be somebody who's starting off, or it could be somebody who's been here for many years. Everybody needs support and encouragement. To bring guests to club meetings so they can benefit from Toastmasters. Well, there is something that you enjoy, you found out, you like it. What do? You tell other people. Toastmasters is something that falls into that category. There are lots of people in the world who need Toastmasters more than what Toastmasters need them. So if you have experience from it, if you have obtained knowledge, if you have obtained a lot of things from Toastmasters, it is important that you pass the message. Bring guests, and if they come, treat them with courtesy. Because what you're actually doing, you're actually giving the guest a favor. You're helping them learn and improve themselves. To adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs. When you're new, you're always given a CC manual, but you also get a program guide with you. It talks about the different programs we have Toastmasters. Like I said before, Toastmasters is an educational program. There are different levels. So first of all, it's very important to know what are the programs. Go to the Toastmasters website, ask senior members, ask your mentor to learn what it is. It's very important to learn all this so you can strive to reach there. And for club, when a member achieves or reaches that goal, it's very important to participate and celebrate their victories. That's how we can work together as a group. And finally, to maintain honest and ethical standard, highly ethical standards during the conduct of all Toastmaster activities. Toastmasters has been around for more than 80 years. It has helped millions of people around the world. And it has been able to do that because they have a code. They have a code of conduct. There are things that are done in a particular way. It is very important to know what those standards are. Of course, I talked about fun. I talked about achieving your goals. but keep in mind, you do not forget or do not compromise the standards of the organization. That is very important. So those are all the Toastmasters promise. Now, I did mention when I started out, I'm going to tell you my experience in Toastmasters. I've been here for 3 years. I've been learning, I've tried my best to attend all the meetings. I always thought, I'm giving speeches here. When will I ever get a speech, an opportunity in real life to talk? I did get an opportunity. It was an impromptu opportunity. A few weeks back, our company had a sales conference, and we have an award night. And they announced the award for the top salespeople. I was not expecting this. What also I was not expecting is, that year, for the first time, the winners had to give a speech. Well, my name was called upon. I was a little bit terrified. I cannot say things because these are my bosses, company's president, the human resources, and of course my fellow salespeople are there. But as I was walking up to the podium to receive my award, I was thinking about Toastmasters. Gavel and glass came to my mind. I've done this before. And I walked, got my award, and said a few things. I might have said 3 things, but I said it with impact. I was very confident. Maybe I was confident because it was dark room, I could not see anybody's faces. I said it. And I got a pat on the back, not for the award, but for my speech.
Okay.
People came to me and said, you had the most funniest speech. Really, I didn't know that. You had the most impactful speech. And I thought, and the next day, a fellow co-worker comes to me and says, you prepared that speech, didn't you? And I said, I didn't even know I was going to win an award. And all this is thanks to Toastmasters. Why am I saying this is, you never know, you will get an opportunity one day, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a funeral, whether it's an award ceremony, you will never know when you are going to be called upon. And I can guarantee you that day, you're going to be thanking that you attended every meeting. Now, a club's success is based on the member's success. I once heard about a name of a football coach. Now, I should know the name of the coach, but I know the story. Whenever he was a football coach for a high school team, and he gave them a booklet. He gave them a booklet. No, he didn't ask them to go and practice different techniques. He gave them a booklet which was basically like a code for playing football to the highest level, and all players had to follow that. And he took every team he coached. They were always playing to the highest of the potential, and he also held everybody to that standard. Why? Because he had something which is a foolproof system. It was very simple, and everybody followed it. Usually nobody gives guarantee, but this is my guarantee, and this is Toastmasters' guarantee is, if you follow this promise, if you adhere to this promise, and if you continue to do these things, your club's success, and most importantly, your success is guaranteed. Thank you.
Like Nissar introduced, actually, he is a good example. This year, Nissar achieved advanced communicator bronze and advanced leadership bronze. So I invite our area governor to present.
Congratulations, Nissar, on your award, and very much deserved, and congratulations to you from the club.
Thank you.